Look who's back with us here on the Jim Masters Show, two of your ultimate favorites and dear friends of each other and of ours, Alison Arngrim, Dean Butler, of course, from the beloved, the legendary, the iconic Little House on the Prairie. They have some exciting things to tell us about. They've been on our show a couple of times now. We love them. They're so gracious. They're fun. And they are all over the map. And here they are to tell us about it. Alison and Dean, welcome back to the Jim Masters Show, my friends. I can't believe that you're actually in a seat, not on a plane, not on a bus, not on a horse somewhere.
Yeah, there you go.
You're here.
We're here.
You are here. And we are so happy. How have you guys been? How are things going? Literally, you are all over the place. And there's so many great events that are coming up, too. Alison, I'll start with you. You are
pillar to post.
She's always close to the town everywhere she goes.
I'm everywhere. I just got back from France, and then of course all of our endless events together at the podcast and with our Christmas event in Strathern Park. And then I guess I get a little break. I get a break for Thanksgiving and for Christmas. I'm thinking I'm getting my days off. But yeah, this whole year we really thought, hey, 50th anniversary, that's great. That's 2024, and then it just kind of kept going into 2025 and didn't really stop. And now it's like, well, come on, 2026. Like, no, I'm booked through July. So, what do you do?
Are you really?
Yeah, no, I've already got bookings.
Yeah, we're part of a lot of people's feel good moments in their life. And I think we need all the feel good moments in our lives that we can get. I just think that's become incredibly important for people. We are part of that, which is really nice.
You agree, Alison? It's amazing, isn't it? The people all these years later are still enamored with this series, and they remember what you wore. They remember the settings, the dialogues. They can, hum to the David Rose
tune. Yes, yeah.
Right? I mean, there's people who can say, this is what was on the shelf on the Mercantile episode. I mean, this is that they're
can they really?
There are. There's a guy who compares, because there's when they would shoot sometimes in See Me or Exterior, they would sometimes, because they did fabulous shots through the window or going through the door. So we used our exterior as an interior occasionally, and then we had our interior. There's some guy on Facebook who's figured out that the stuff they put on the shelves was in a different order in See Me in the interior. And he's like, yes, a baking powder can is over there. But they are. And we get this just waves of this coming at us everywhere we're going. Yes, it's amazing. Did we think 51 and a half years ago? Yes, I keep saying we didn't have cable, for heaven's sake. How were they going to watch it, let alone all this? We had no idea. We had no idea this would do this. And here we are looking at year 52, and people cannot get enough. And they're just happy to see us everywhere we go. So we keep going.
They really are. And you're getting invited to so many different events and so many different things. And the feedback, too, that you get from the fans, I mean, they really pour their hearts out to you, don't they?
I keep a box of Kleenex on the table.
Yeah.
I haven't done that, but with the Kleenex, but it is, we talk about this all the time. When people walk up to you at a table and you can see it in their eyes that there is something very strong for a lot of people. I mean, that's not true for everybody, but for those people for whom the emotional response is strong, it's very strong. And there is just something, it's such a gift. It is a sweet, wonderful thing when you see in people's eyes what the program meant to them, and they're flashing back in their minds. We have to remember they're going back to when it first impacted them. It's not necessarily, maybe they watched an episode yesterday, but the emotional impact is decades old. And our memories are powerful that way. It all comes rushing back to the surface, and people remember what they were feeling at that critical moment.
Yeah.
When they watched something when they really needed something. And I think that's what we see is it's that tipping point moment where the program made a difference in their life. And
the time of their life. I mean, the people who talk about who they watched it with. I watched the show with my mother. I watched the show with my grandmother, and they'll say, their relatives who are no longer here. Oh, my grandpa and I, this was our bonding moment, and he's no longer here, and I feel I'm with him when I watch the show. We get this all the time. It brings back that part of their life.
Yeah, and that is very, very strong. Those memories are. Those connections, those familial connections that people have are very, very powerful in their lives. And we all have them at different points, different people, different times in our lives, but we all have those things. And if we can be part of some of those moments for people, and we are, it's a remarkable thing. I always feel like we have to be very responsible with it. And I think as a group, I think we really are. We respect the emotional life that comes at us from people. And for me, it's, you might think, and I think Alison feels the same way about this, it presents differently, but we want people to come away from an experience knowing that they met the person that they watched, that there's no air between us. Yes, their years have gone by. We are visually different than we were when we were in our 20s and teens, but the essential nature, the motor that runs us is still the same. And we want people, it's very important that they feel that when they come away from an interaction with us. At least that's very important to me. And I think Alison, knowing how passionate you are, I've been watching it for years, how you deal with people, I know that's important to you too.
It's also the sense that we liked it too, because I did. I mean, I enjoyed being on the show. I did. Many child actors had a rough time of it. I've certainly heard from other child on other shows where they just weren't as nice to them. It was hard, and it's a lot of work, and it was a great experience for me. I'm so happy that I played the character. I'm getting sun on my face because I enjoy being the villain and being terrible. I mean, look, I'm having fun in the picture he just put up. Look how happy I am.
Well, it's cathartic. I mean, what a cathartic thing you get to experience.
And it was. I enjoyed it enormously. It was the comedy relief. It was the villain's fabulous. So I don't have any that show. I'm happy, and they love that because they feel badly if they get up there and here's this person. I love this show, and I love this person in this show, and what it all meant. And the person's like, yeah, but I really hated being on the show, and it was a horrible part of my life, and I am so unhappy now. Oh God, that's terrible. You don't want that.
Yeah, you don't want that.
So when they see us and we're like, well, actually, we kind of had a pretty good time, and we're still friends with a whole bunch of the other cast members, they're thrilled. They're like, oh good, you were having fun too.
The best example of that misery, I think, is in Galaxy Quest when you're Alan Rickman in Galaxy Quest as the Dr. Lazarus, and just like shoving pictures at people as he scribble, shove, and he's just so cold and miserable. Anybody who's been in that situation can understand how you could get that way. Yeah. I mean, it's totally understandable how you could get that way. That you would be that way with people who love you, it is just sort of awful. And it's just, that is not how we roll. If you ever
wondered what it is like to be a celebrity and go to an autograph show, and what it is like to deal with fans.
Oh, Galaxy Quest is it.
Galaxy Quest. If you notice, everybody from Little House Galaxy Quest is like all of our favorite movie. It's like Galaxy. Any actor does autographs.
I love Galaxy Quest.
We have Galaxy Quest moments. But even the Alan Rickman's character, who's totally cynical about it. Oh, the show. What does he wind up by? Grab Thor's hammer.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it's like, I feel like that all the time. Don't you feel like that when they come up to you and they're like, say something from the show, and you're like, I grabbed his hammer. I'm doing it. It's happening to me.
Trying to think of what is something crickets, Beth. It's not Jiminy Crickets. That's Disney.
That's right. You did. Right. You had to say something really goofy. What was it?
It's sort of it's like it's biblical. It's sort of a biblical thing. Something crickets. Someone in your audience is going to know what it is. Jerusalem crickets. Jerusalem crickets, Beth.
Jerusalem crickets, Beth.
Yeah, I have asked for, people have asked for that line.
That's
they ask for some, some sweet thing that was said to Laura, and this is so many women who come up and, you get this thing, Jim, you get this thing. I'm sure, you get this feeling from people that, or they tell you, and they come up with their husbands or their boyfriends. They've got their children by their side. They're right there. And they tell me, among other things, that Almanzo was the first crush in their life, and their husband's right there, their son's right there, their daughter's right there. There's something so sweet and disarming about that. There's nothing on it that's like, there's no like deep, dark energy attached to it. It's just sweetness. Yeah. There's no creepiness in it. It's very sweet. And,
and that's highly unusual because it could be the other way.
It could be.
You guys are lucky,
my wife always says to me before I leave on these weekends, she says, all right, go off. Catherine always says, go off and be adored again this weekend. And that's, that's the deal. And it is that gift. I feel it profoundly from people, that the people who come to see us are people who deeply love and appreciate what was done. And they want to express that. And we are able to be the best. We are able to be the listeners of that passion. And I love that. That is a wonderful gift for all of us.
I was mentioning, we were chatting before we went on the air with our illustrious guests, Alison and Dean, that I had an opportunity, we're here in the New York area, to go to one of the events that they had here in the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area. And, chat with them. I wanted to surprise them because they were guests on our show a couple of times, talking about other Little House on the Prairie memorabilia, events, history, all of it. And so I drove up and surprised, all the folks from Little House on the Prairie. We got to see Alison there. We got to see Dean there as well. And I have to tell you, they couldn't be more respectful, fun, gracious with every single person that came through. There were hours and hours of people, and it's like this, everywhere they go, but literally hours and hours of people who flew from across the country, drove from Virginia, flew in from Chicago to get to the East Coast, among other places where they appear. And just being somebody that, like them, working in this industry of television and broadcast and radio and everything, I wanted to see what it was actually like and experience it. And I waited in the lines like everybody else, because I wanted to hear what the fans were saying and have discussions with them and laugh with them, and all bottles of water because it was hot out, all of it with them. And the stories that they were saying as they were online, and then the smiles when they would come out of the rooms where all of these fine folks were from Little House on the Prairie, was extraordinary. And you really make their day. I mean, some of them are very emotional. They're laughing, they're crying. They brought their mother, who has a cane, to see you guys. It's nothing like it, truly. And I've mentioned it to so many people, and they're like, oh yeah, I've heard about that. They really are. People will wait hours to see you guys. It's extraordinary. I think you're rivaling when the Beatles came over in '64.
That's maybe a little generous, Jim. But sure, we'll take that. But I think the Star Trek people have experienced this for years. I mean, it's so interesting that a show like ours, which is set in the 1870s and 80s, has touched people in many ways in the same way as the original Star Trek did, set centuries in the future. And I think part of that is and very different shows, obviously, but there's an emotional thing that people feel about the storytelling that's being done. And so much of Star Trek was very much a commentary on the time, on the 60s when it was originally produced. And there was a lot of sort of hope and optimism about how we could deal with people. And I think Little House, in its own way, looking in the past, did the same thing, projecting the sensibilities of the 70s, of the mid to 70s, mid late 70s, early 80s, and projecting how we could do it better. And I think one of the reasons that people have continued to watch it is because it's not dated. It was old when it was new. It was never out of fashion because it was never in fashion. It is its own place in the world. And yet it had this wonderful freedom to comment on all kinds of current things that as a country we're facing. It continues to surprise and amaze all of us.
Well, and it amazes me because, it should have been a show like, oh, it was hot in the 70s and 80s, and then like some reruns, and then it should have gone away, and it didn't. We are in this weird space occupied by things like Star Trek or The Wizard of Oz, where the fan base just keeps going and going and going. And of course, I have to do my Star Trek Little House Connections trivia. Besides the fact that, yes, Shatner is a huge Prairie fan, as are several other Star Trek cast members. The sound stages we were on at Paramount Studios 30 and 31, before it was Paramount Studios, were stages 9 and 10, and that's where they filmed Star Trek.
That's wild.
Wow.
It's the same sound stage. And then one of the guys who built the Enterprise built some of our sets.
Oh, yes. No, absolutely. Oh, my God. Of course.
Was
yes.
built the Enterprise.
Yes.
So the same people who brought you the sets from Star Trek brought you the sets from Little House on the Prairie.
Yes.
It was shot on the exact same sound stage, and Shatner and his whole family are tuning in. Yeah.
And this wasn't Star Trek a part of Desilu, right?
That's correct.
Yes.
Yes, that's what it was.
It was a Desilu situation.
Exactly. Wow.
And then Shatner and my father were in a play on Broadway together. So Shatner.
Seriously?
And I
oh my God! Wow.
Shatner and I became internet friends, and it was just totally bonkers because he's a huge Prairie fan, and we started going back and forth. And they go, "Wait, weren't you in this show with my dad?" I was, yeah, and then the
now,
Prairie,
if you had the opportunity to go to
Trek.
space, would you go to space?
I would go to space. Would you go to space?
I think I would give it a serious consideration. Yeah, absolutely. I think that would be a thrilling thing to be able to do. I remember seeing him come down. We all watched the coverage when he went up in the ship and came back, and he had been transported literally way up, but there was an emotional transportation that had happened, and he was just he was over the moon as he came down from that experience.
It's quite a thing. I've met a couple astronauts over the years, and they've just said, "Oh yeah,
I have too, actually." Yeah,
it's a thing. You get up.
Yeah. One of the things I remember being told to me is it changed when they went to space, and the one that I'm thinking of is someone who was in the space station, orbiting the Earth for days and days at a time on their mission. And looking down at Earth and realizing that the transition of countries disappear, peoples disappear, we are all in this thing together with this very thin layer of oxygen that separates us from the cold of outer space. And it changed their perspective on their whole sense of humanity changed. It became a very collective experience. And I think we need a little more of that collective thinking. About that we live together in this place and we need each other. And the borders and so on, these are all sort of very human distinctions, but in a larger sense, there are no borders. It's we're all here together, and we need to do something. We need to behave well with each other.
Well, and that's the thing we keep harping on with Little House on the Prairie is one of the things people are attracted to it. One of the things why we like about it too is every episode had something about the community pulling together to help each other.
Yes.
Harvest of friends when Paul can't do it, and people stepped up and helped each other. And that's something we've seen that our fans behave like that. They help each other. It's just, it's that kind of atmosphere. And we're like, what a nice thing that of all the shows we could have been on and could have been stuck with being known for that character or whatever.
I
we
know.
were on a show that had those kind of values and that kind of message. So like we can sleep it. We don't have to lie awake at night going, oh man, I was in that terrible show. We're on a good show.
Yeah, no, Jim, that is the gift. The tone of the program, the themes that it explored, the way it explored them, the open-heartedness of it is something that's so disarming to audiences. There's no cynicism. There's no, there's nothing cool about it. It comes into your home. It comes into your consciousness when you're watching it. It's very it strips away barriers. The honesty of it just strips away people's barriers, and you find yourself touched because it's just genuine. And I think that's one of the big reasons why it has lasted so beautifully, because it touches something that's primally, fundamentally human. And we all have these things. And we were fortunate enough to have this opportunity to be really a part of that. And that has been extraordinary for all of us who had the chance to be part of that.
When did it kick in for you guys individually that we were really a part of something special? When did that start to really sink in for you? And
like seriously sink in?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like
I think it was years later, frankly.
Yeah, really.
I think it was years later that when we really started to know that it was unique. And Alison, you've been out there so much for.
We didn't know we were on a hit till probably about the third year of the show. I mean, as I say, I joke about my father saying, no one's going to watch this thing. And so we're like, it got picked up. Hey, wait, I think it's catching on. And then around the third year, it sunk in. We're in the top 10 and this is actually a hit and we're on that show. Oh, yikes. And then we kind of realized we're on a hit show and this might go on for a while. But as we said, Michael's the only one who said, they'll be watching it years after we're all gone. And we're like, yeah, sure. And here we all are. But it was after the show, we thought, well, it'll settle down. People will move on. And then like the VHS came out and then the DVDs came out and there were all these like flurries. And I'm like, this is not going away. I guess I should like just, get on board here. And then it was somewhere in the early 2000s. It was like when we went to Nebraska. There was a cash reunion. It was the Homestead National Monument in Beatrice, Nebraska.
Yes, I remember that.
Very historic. And that was when both Karen and Charlotte got their minds blown because we came down the path. They're like,
the crowd was just off the charts.
There's all these people. And the wave of sound when they saw us coming down the path and started cheering and clapping. And Charlotte went, what is happening? What is it? Wait, who are these people? And why are this is for us? And it was like they were going to throw us up. And she just lost it. She started crying. And everybody just started crying because we just had not seen this. All these people have been waiting for us to come visit them. And that's we kind of went, we've hit a nerve.
Yeah. Charlotte tells this great story about Alison calling her on the phone and with Alison asking the question, do you want to go on the road to do these things? And Charlotte's answer was, why?
What do you mean go on the road?
She just didn't get it.
Like,
but she sure gets it now. She's such a beneficiary or a recipient of this affection that she's the school teacher. She's this people grew up with this presence, this beautiful, sweet, intelligent, empathetic presence. And Charlotte just radiates all of that. And you can't not, I don't know anybody who couldn't love Charlotte. I mean, she's just amazing.
And how many people have come up to her and said, I became a teacher because of
you.
So,
yes.
I became a teacher because I watched Miss Beadle. I mean, how can you we have this effect and it is kind of, it's shocking. Well, and the first time I went to France in 2002, it was January, and I did a talk show. And I said, I'll go do a talk show. Oh, great. I get a trip to France. Go do a talk show. This will be fun. And I walk out and the whole studio audience and the guests on the panel all start going, la, 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 singing the theme song, which, as you know, there's no words. There's no words to our theme song. Mm-hmm. There are no words to the theme song, Little House. You can't, why are you? No, they're singing it. And they were all these French people, and they were just beside themselves. And these French actors, huge celebrities in France, other people, the panel were all gaga. And I went, well, why am I not coming here all the time? What am I crazy? I'm gonna go to France. And just the response I got first day, I was like, what is going on over here? And we don't realize how much the show means to people till you go out there and you find out.
Did anybody ever try to put words to the theme? Maury Amsterdam did with the Dick Van Dyke Show, which was instrumental first. And then did anybody ever try to put words to the theme?
Not
that David Rose orchestration?
Yeah.
There's been lots of fans and people kind of
Sure.
sending it up and
Sure.
making things up.
Well, it's interesting. Jim, we may talk about it later. We're doing our 50th anniversary podcast live from New York on November 22nd at Green Room 42. And one of our guests is Charles Bloom, who played my brother Pearly Day Wilder in an episode called Wilder and Wilder. Well, Charles is a Broadway composer lyricist. And he is so clever. And he has written, for people who are thinking about coming to our little show, Green Room 42, Charles has written special material that he's going to perform, putting lyrics to melodies, not necessarily Little House melody, but thematically about Little House, that I think is probably going to be really, really fun.
You invite someone to come on your podcast because they're really funny and they're really cool. And then they go, "Oh, great, yes, and I've written a song for the occasion." And we're like, "What?" But he literally wrote a song for the occasion.
I got the tracks via email yesterday.
Did you get the tracks? Yes.
I got the tracks. I haven't had a chance to listen to them yet, but there's music and lyrics and all of that he has sent along for us to learn, so we can sing the last little bit with him.
You come to our live podcast. You will get your questions answered. There's merch for sale. There's a whole podcast, and yes, a sing along.
And we're going to sing for you. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, it's going to come up in New York. There
you go. Look at you.
Merch and everything. Celebrate. This is all still part of something special. Believe it or not, the 50th of Little House on the Prairie, which is amazing. Not only are you guys going to New York, but you're going to other places. And one stop is in Rhode Island to the Chocolate Expo.
I think they AI'd us a little in that picture. We've been enhanced.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, boy, they have, haven't they?
But on in this thing. We're going in for the Chocolate Expo. It's going to be absolutely bonkers. You get Almanzo and Nellie and chocolate. What could go wrong?
Love that.
Cool.
I think it's one of the favorite bookings I've ever gotten. I mean, I don't know. I'm such a chocoholic that I just can't wait to see what the goodies are like. And chocolate has become, I don't know if anyone noticed at Halloween, but I mean, there was less chocolate Halloween candy because of tariffs on cocoa coming into the country. Yeah. Sure? And so there were other things. I can't wait to sample really good chocolate at the Chocolate Expo. It's going to be really, really fun. I hope people will come and we'll all sample chocolate together.
That's in Rhode Island. That's going to be amazing too.
Look at your preparation, Jim, is fantastic. You've got all these visuals supporting things. You do a lot of prep on this. Good for you.
Speaking of visuals, I heard you bought a new car.
Yeah. In Columbia, it was fun. That car, we had a great time there. I mean, Little House had been shot in Gold Rush country for years. It's really principally the location we went for the train that people always saw in Little House was in Jamestown, which is Gold Rush country. And then, of course, there were rivers and forests and all these things that don't look anything like Minnesota, but were wonderful backdrops for the storytelling that was done. And we had a great time in Columbia.
You know who's also here? Michelle Steffen is here.
Hey, girl.
Yes. She's great. Michelle and Jennifer, who were also part of the series as well, which was great. And they were, I think they were at the Connecticut event too. They've been to
yes, I think they were.
I
don't know if they both were there, but at least one of them was there. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't know if they were both there. No, they were both there. Of course, they were both there. I remember. Yes, I remember. We had breakfast together one morning. Yes,
we go on shows, and our fellow cast members sign in to say hi. It's like, who has that? Who does that? But yes, that's like it's the Little House gang.
You know, it's really funny. Thanks everybody for watching and all these comments coming in. You were talking about Almanzo and everybody, having the crush on Almanzo. Well, for Chris, Nellie Oleson was his grade school crush.
Oh, hi, Chris. I always said, where were you then? You know, people now.
Where were you
I had
on my
crush on
lonely
Nellie.
Saturday
I
nights?
was
Yeah.
sitting around by the Saturday. Where were you people?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's now because, and I've had a lot of people say, well, I had a crush on Nellie in high school, junior high, but I couldn't admit it. I had to lie and say I like Laura or Mary because they would have thought it was really weird if I said I had a crush on Nellie Oleson. But now apparently it's permissible to have a crush on Nellie Oleson. So.
You know,
absolutely. Wouldn't you want to bring her to the prom, everybody?
Sure. You know, I think if you did bring Nellie Oleson to the prom, you'd have more fun than anybody else at the prom.
That's the thing.
You know, Alison brings such joy and fun to all these encounters that we have with people. And I'm talking about her like she's not here, but she really is. She is an amazing presence in our Little House family. And she's been that way literally for, not to date any of us too much, but you know, what the hell, it's been decades, you know, so you have been that presence for us for so many years. And just an incredible gift that you are to the whole Little House experience, because people love that. They love that bad, nasty girl, but they also know that there's she's always in on the joke, is sort of the sense that you get as you watch her. She's not evil. She's having fun.
Yeah. She's very witty and quick. And absolutely. That's what I love about her too.
Yeah.
When we have her on, we'll have to make sure that we tell her these things, Dean.
You should.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Yes. I have no idea who that person is in the middle of the screen right now.
Super fan. She even dressed up like her too for Halloween.
Incredible.
It's incredible. It is amazing because I've heard the same too when people will say, "Oh, you chatted with Alison, what have you?" Oh my God, I couldn't stand her on the show, but she played the character so well. But I've seen her, I've met her, I've whatever. They'll say, and she is fantastic.
Yes.
It's really got to be fantastic for you, Alison, when you get that sort of, first they come at you like, wait a minute, you're the one, and then all of a sudden you leave them loving you more than ever.
My favorite is the kindergarten teacher who came to, one of the reunions ages ago, Walnut Grove or something, and she was telling her class that, first grade, kindergarten, it was just about that she was going to Little House on the Prairie. She'd been turning them on to Little House on the Prairie, and that she was going to meet all these people. She's listing all the people who's going to meet, and the one, Nellie Oleson, they said, don't go. It's a trap. Don't go. It's dangerous. They were afraid for her safety. Please don't go, Mrs. Nellie Olson's going to be, that their teacher would be harmed in some way, because I was there. So when we met, we were like laughing over this, and we took lots of pictures and everything. Well, she went back to her class and showed them the pictures. Look, she's nice. See, she was great. And they were learning to write. And so she had them all, the big jumbo line paper when you're literally just starting the letters. Mm-hmm. So it was like, thank you. This is our, and it was, our teacher says you are nice, et cetera, that it was, and each of them wrote as best they could these darling little letters, and she put them all in a book and sent them to me. And I still have it. And then she showed up at an event recently and said, hi, I'm the teacher with the kids. And I'm like, and I still have the book. I still have the book of letters. But people were like afraid to meet me. I had people who were like scared to.
Well, Alison, you've told a wonderful story for years about, because, one of the funny things that has always been true about this is you and Melissa have had this wonderful relationship.
We're friends.
And so what, wasn't there, like there was a sleepover somewhere, right? And you were in a store together, and what happened?
Well, we had slumber parties all the time. She was over at my place and we went down to the supermarket. Oh yeah. You have a party and you're like, you make cakes and you make fudge and you pop. So we're getting all our supplies to bake a cake and make all this junk. So we're running around the supermarket buying junk food and everything, different else. And she got recognized. And then somebody spotted me. But these people went up to her in the aisle she was in and said, you need to be careful. She's in the store. And warned her that Nellie Oleson was on aisle 7, and so that she would be safe to get out in time. Yes, literally. We were at a party. I was at a party of Melissa's, and my God, we were in our 40s or more, and we're a party of Melissa's, and all these women were standing in the kitchen. Everyone's got like cocktails, and there's fondue. And this grown person says, "It's so good to see you two getting along." And there's this weird silence. Melissa and I literally go, what? And we're trying to find Melissa. I'm sorry, what are you talking about? Was there some tabloid article that we're feuding or something? I'm sorry, what? And she starts going, well, when you were younger. We're going, eh? And then she's on the show when you get to, and then Melissa goes, you mean on the show? And had to explain to this woman that, no, we were actually friends in real life, that was a show. And as she said to us one time, she said, you work in the industry and you're how old? She's a grown person who worked in TV and was absolutely convinced until that moment that Nellie and Laura were mortal enemies and was shocked that I was at her house for a party.
I could see that, right? Because that's what people
of course
think.
Yeah, of course.
And then here you are at her, that you're real people, and those were characters that you were playing to a T. Exactly. Do you find that, Dean, as well? Do you get any of that where that you're still always going to be Almanzo for them?
No, I think absolutely. And, and I fully embrace that. I say to people when I'm asked that question, I am he and he is me. I mean, this is, and I think this is why we're cast, frankly. This is what Michael saw when we came in the door. He got, Alison's story about discovering this material and her take on it was instantaneous and crystal clear. And they got it right away. And he knew that's the thing. And I think casting decisions get made like that. Someone walks in the door and it just, that whatever that is, and you have no control over it, really. You're just bringing you in the door. If you're doing this authentically, you're just bringing you in the door. And if they see it, doesn't mean you're going to get the job, but they know in seconds if you could be someone who's going to get the job. So I think, I'm fortunately, I think anything I would have been cast in would have had, a similar kind of vibe around it. I think my casting was very specific in this area. I'm just so grateful that it was something like Little House that has this deep vein of love and appreciation around it. And that I got to bring whatever that energy is to something that is as good as Little House is, that is as beloved and just connected to, that is appreciated, and people come back to it again and again and again. So if what I get, Jim, I take it gratefully. It's it's all been good.
Michelle Lee was on the other night. We were talking about how Knots Landing has had a resurgence lately too, and how people can't get enough of them. Donna Mills, Joan Van Ark, Michelle Lee, and all the amazing things they've done together. And one of the key things she said, which is a point that you're making, is, and even though it was a nighttime drama, and there was
it was nighttime soap opera. It was very different kind of a
Little House, but still people craving the nostalgia, wanting to go back to a simpler time, especially because our world is so different now and so ramped up, and with technology and AI and just all the world events that are happening can be overwhelming for people. And then you turn on Antenna TV or Catchy or Me TV or any of these channels, and there's
Roku,
A Little House on the Prairie, or a
yeah.
rerun of Dick Van Dyke or Genie or any of these shows. And all of a sudden you're transported to a different time and place, and you can breathe and you can hum the theme, and you can have, you can bring out the Pop-Tarts and Jiffy Pop and and
all of that.
Quick.
all of that. And I just think it's relief for people. There's so much tension in the world now. And I think we are in this unique time, and maybe it's just inevitable that in the ebb and flow of human interactions, that there are going to be these times that are more contentious, and there are going to be sweeter, warmer times than others. We are in one of those contentious times now. And it is nice to have that relief. I think this is something that we feel profoundly, when I think Little House had a real, and we've talked about this a lot, that during the pandemic, because people were home and they didn't know what to do, and they didn't know how to use their time, and they were looking for peace and comfort. And Little House had a huge resurgence, particularly in the streaming environment during the pandemic because people were just binge watching shows, and Little House was a fun binge watch and a safe binge watch. You could be home with your entire family, as Little House has always been. That's what Michael wanted it to be. You could binge watch Little House, or you could be on 5 separate devices in a room watching Little House, different episodes, but it's all the same vibe. And I think people connected to that. And then
the actors reached out to them at the same time this was happening. That's what's so crazy. Like I've always said, Little House is always there when you need it. The books, when did they come out? The height of the Great Depression. That's when the books came out. And there they were. People wanted something. And here was this family struggling in the 1800s, having a worse time of it than they were having in the Depression. So perfect. And then when did our show air? 74. Does anybody remember? 1974. There was a massive recession. Whip inflation now. Gas rationing, for heaven's sakes. And suddenly, there's Little House on the Prairie. So it's always there. And people during the pandemic went, time to watch Little House on the Prairie. And then that was the whole thing. I went on Facebook. I needed something to do. And I realized everyone else did. And I read the Little House book, starting page 1, book 1, chapter 1, and read the entire series of the Little House books all the way through twice, and some Wizard of Oz and some Anne of Green Gables just for kicks. And Dean joined in. He's like, I need to do the long winter. And we wound up, but we had cast members, and then of course they loved having Almanzo come in and do the long winter and the whole wedding.
Farmer Boy and these happy golden years. It was fun.
But it was daily. You had cast members from the show reading the books to you on Facebook, and people just tuned in droves. And then it became a whole thing. Well, I'm watching Little House, and then I'm tuning into my Facebook thing with the cast members reading the book. It became a thing. It really became a thing.
Which is amazing. And you were wearing all the different hats too and everything, right?
Yeah.
Now, aren't you cooking? You've done a lot of cooking too, right?
That's why I'm so busy now, but I started doing, I said, what do you people want next? They said, we want cooking videos. I was like, all right, so scrambled eggs, everyone will be made. And it was just totally bonkers. But I've had people come up to me at our autograph shows and say, I drove 5 hours to get it because I was losing my mind sitting there in my apartment. And then there you were wearing a bonnet and reading Little House on the Prairie. And it was like the best thing ever. And I just got like some cookies and sat there watching it. And I felt better.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think, if you're going to cook sometime again, I think we have to do cinnamon chicken. And when you do it, I want to be there.
I did cinnamon chicken right away because there was such
This is a foodie crowd. What is the cinnamon chicken?
That go on YouTube. It's one of my most popular videos is the cinnamon chicken. But we should absolutely do a video together.
Cinnamon chicken. What do you serve with it?
Oh my God, it's fabulous. So I do it kind of savory. There's multiple. You do one that's got kind of a saucy thing with the cider and the one.
Right. Yes.
Like a fried chicken. It's just in the flour with the spices and the flour. It's a healthy dose of cinnamon, little cayenne pepper. And so it's a savory cinnamon chicken fried up like chicken tenders, whatever, with mashed potatoes.
Yes.
And green beans or peas. I like green beans with it.
Yes.
And whenever I'm in France, my French friends always go, can you make the poulet à quenelle? Can you make the cinnamon chicken? I'm like, okay. Cinnamon chicken for people. It's pretty good though.
We have to do it. It'll be massive engagement if we do that.
If we make cinnamon chicken, we could duel because your recipe is very good. It's different. It has the little sauce with the thing with the apple cider, and mine's the crispy more pan.
Is there a cookbook in the offing?
Oh, is there? Yeah, I'm totally working on one. It's called "Who's Going to Do the Cooking?" Duh, yeah, of course I am. But I have a YouTube channel. Of course, I'm running a cookbook called "Who's Going to Do the Cooking?"
Have you been asked to run for office once or twice?
Yes.
Because I think you would get things done, Ms. Arngrim. You would get things done.
I have worked basically as a lobbyist with the group National Association to Protect Children, where we had gone into state capitals and into Washington to level the playing field for victims of abuse and get more funding for law enforcement who deal directly with these cases and do this kind of stuff.
Did you work with Karen Grassley on that too? Because she had mentioned she had been Karen Grassley.
She was absolutely. She did a lot of lobbying, and then Melissa did a lot of stuff with the Actors Union about getting work for actors in California. So we're all a very active little bunch.
And Paul Peterson's group too.
Yes, the child actors, right? Exactly.
I have gone clumping around the halls of Washington D.C. and Sacramento and Albany, and that's the thing is I met so many people who were, senators and assembly persons and Congress people. And I did have some of the people I was working with who had like run campaigns. Do you want to run for anything? And I said, would I have to spend all day with those people and like have lunch with them? Because now I've met them and I'm it's like, no,
Nellie Oleson would come out, right?
I think I'd be happy to do the political activism and lobbying for a good organization. I like that, going in and doing the legislative work and meeting with people and saying we need this piece of legislation. And I've worked on writing legislation with elected officials. And so I love that part. But the part of the day-to-day actually being in office and hanging out with career politicians.
That'd be a little tough.
Could be a little tough.
How do you make your mashed potatoes?
How do I make my mashed potatoes?
Yeah, the Irish in me. I love my mashed potatoes.
Oh, exactly. Hello, mashed.
Yes.
They say that the gold Yukon ones, the gold ones are the best. I do like the red ones though.
For mashed potatoes?
For mashed potatoes, yeah.
So not russet potatoes. You use the little
red ones. Wow. Make a great mashed potato. You want to boil them, not too much. What's tricky is you don't want to cut them up too small. I know people are in a hurry. They'll cut them in little tiny cubes and boil them. They get mushy. So I will either boil them whole or maybe half, like in big pieces, and then just till they're done. Then we don't get the mushy factor. Drain them right away, and then mash the bejesus out of them. And go old-fashioned potato masher. You can get the mixer for the final, but I'm very manual. The thing
really. So you use the
old
masher,
the masher, and then absolutely butter and milk.
Butter and milk.
I have Icelandic cousins who put sugar in them. I'm like, no, not doing that.
Wow.
My father grew up on the farm, and he said one of the cousins was like salt, sugar, cream. Everybody's like, what? I said, no, just like milk and butter, and mash them some more, and then try at the end a little bit of the old hand mixer. You can whip them up if you like, but I like them good and solid. And if you mash them right, the skin you'd like obliterate it and get it in there. But the skin's the best part for you, and it's good in the mashed.
That's what they say. Yeah.
Well, that is cool.
So
that you include that.
People would want to know.
I mean, I have. I'm looking over.
Jen, you'll get a question in here.
No,
I
have all these.
I love the mashed potato.
I also, I have all the Cuisinart, but I have a knife. I can just get things with a knife.
Nellie Oleson has a knife.
Oh no! Get it away from her right away.
That's people would probably be amazed to know what it's like for the real folks, for Dean and Alison at holiday time. Do you guys have any special holiday traditions that you do at your house with your family, Dean? Thanksgiving, Christmas, the holidays, and you, Alison, as well?
Yeah.
Well, it's a bit, for Thanksgiving is a very traditional meal, and I think we as a family we have partaken in it as so many people do, with turkey and stuffing and potatoes and sweet potatoes and some green vegetable as well. But with the food we would certainly do that. Pumpkin pie. My wife Catherine makes a wonderful creme brulee. She does that for dessert. But I think the holiday that really is the big deal in our family that I've really become so attached to is Christmas. And it's because I love the food, love the sweets, love all of that goes with Christmas. But for me, it's about Christmas trees, and it's about the lighting of Christmas trees, the decorating of Christmas trees, and this wonderful tradition, a family tradition we have of this redwood log that has a Santa's workshop. And I'm sorry I don't have pictures I can show you, Jim, because I think you sort of have to see it to get it. But if you see it, it's pretty remarkable. Santa's workshop inside the hollowed out log, and on top a snowy farm scene that definitely evokes the whole vibe of Little House on the Prairie. And there's just a real joy in that. This tradition's been in my family since 1910. And multiple versions of this thing have been made, and we love that. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful fun.
How about you, Alison? That sounds terrific.
It's a cooking fest. I mean, I really great turkey. My father taught me to cook, because I said he grew up on a farm and taught me all the old ways. So he taught me all these tricks to have like the super moist turkey, no matter how, even if it's a giant turkey, you have to cook a long time, how to keep it moist. And then my husband Bob makes this stuffing with this old Sicilian thing going on with herbs and spices and pine nuts and currants that is absolutely epic. So we do that now. I sometimes get crazy and will make cranberry sauce from scratch. Sometimes I get the can, but I do also make it.
Yeah, that's great though. Oh my God.
Do you bring in eggnog? Is there eggnog in the houses or?
Bob does not care for the eggnog. He's like, I love eggnog. Okay, for people, anybody out there in Tennessee watching this, Weigel's. You go to the Weigel's, the store by the gas station called the Weigel's, and you get the eggnog. Weigel's eggnog in Tennessee.
I loved eggnog growing up. I think a little eggnog goes a long way.
Yeah.
You don't need a lot of it. It's so rich. But what an unforgettable flavor that is.
I tried to explain it to French people recently. They went, "What is the thing, the eggnog?" I said, "Well, it doesn't really have eggs, and it's milk, and it's cream, and it's kind of like drinking cake batter." It's
what's the nog part? The nog.
Yeah, the nog, right.
The booze in it. I said, boozy cake.
It's like that fruit cake they keep passing around since 1965, right? It's the same. They say it's the same fruit cake that just keeps going from people's houses to houses.
It's incredible.
It's like, so do you do, I would imagine, Alison, your house is probably also a winter wonderland at Christmas time, decorations, all kinds of things.
I get modern because we wind up going out to Tennessee to Bob's family a lot. So we did big decor. But I got one of those like frosted kind of like metal, white, sparkly little trees. And the light, the 1950s.
The rotating light.
You turn on. I could, because Bob said, "God, I remember when I was a kid, we had that ridiculous thing with the shine light." I was like, "Dude, they sell those." And so I get the 1950s light. It's hysterical, and you have like really reflective ornaments. It's really cool.
Oh my God, that's definitely another time. With the aluminum tree and the rotating light.
The rotating light.
Yeah.
I bet you people think Almanzo goes out and cuts the tree down, lugs it back, and snowing out and all that, right?
Wouldn't that be great? I mean, so we have a place called a little plug for Mr. Green Trees in Los Angeles, and we've been going to Mr. Green Trees for years, and they have beautiful trees. It's always a live tree. I can't quite bring myself to do the artificial tree. It makes sense on a lot of levels. But there's just something wonderful about the smell of a live tree in the house. And I just really love
That's
that.
what I like is the live. If I'm in town, I do
Yeah,
the live.
yeah,
Now, I do know how to make my own wreath. You get the branches when you go get your tree.
Sure.
Scoop up a bunch of those pieces they cut off, all the branches, many as you can.
Yeah.
And then you just need a coat hanger and some wire. You can use baggy ties. And you undo the coating, make a big circle, and you start tying them branches, and you just keep layering them, tie them on until you have a wreath. And then you slap some bows or ornaments on, attach those with a little wire, and you have like a fabulous $60 Christmas wreath for, pennies.
So when you were kids, when
awesome.
you were on Little House on the Prairie as a kid, and Dean, when you were on the series, or just as a kid, is there a favorite gift that you remember getting as a kid at Christmas time that still stands out?
We still have all the stuff I got. I kept everything.
You had Gumby and Pokey and Casper and in-house connection to those. Davey
we
and
had
Elias.
stuff and remember, like Richard and Catherine, Richard Bold, Mr. Olson, Catherine McGregor, Mrs. Olson, they would get together every year and do an Olson's Mercantile thanks its customers gift. And there was an apron, there was a coffee mug. And it was just have their picture like, because those are the Mercantile, we do the customers of Merry Christmas. And they'd give those out. It was hysterical.
I remember this is well before Little House, Jim. I used to be a terrible peeker at Christmas time. So I would press paper and peel back tape. And the year came, and I was warned about this because, my mother was monitoring what was going on in the house. And
today they'd have ring cameras and everything.
At one point I had found everything, and my mother said, "You have ruined your Christmas. There will be no surprises for you. So you're going to get everything, but you know what it is. There are no surprises." It was the most miserable Christmas I'd ever had. And at that point, it was really an interesting lesson. It became much more interesting to me what I was giving people for Christmas than what I was getting for Christmas. Right. And I think it was a great turning point moment. So if you're a peaker, if you want to get more invested in your giving, just sort of cheat and find out everything you're getting, and then you won't be interested in that anymore because it'll ruin it for you.
It'll ruin it for you.
It absolutely ruined it for me. And it was that's the most memorable Christmas I think I've ever had, just because it was, I always think of it as such a joyful time, and it was so not a joyful time that year. And it's
I'm so surprised that you were the peaker, because you'd think it would be me. I was not a peaker. I was the good child. I was like, no, I can go peek.
Oh, I peeked everything.
Yeah.
It was just awful. I mean, I won't even tell you. I did some things that were so terrible peeking that I can't even repeat them here.
I did that too. I did. I would tear like the corner of the edge of the. I would wake my sister up at like 2 a.m. We'd sneak out to the tree, but we couldn't open everything until the folks were up. And the 8mm camera, the film camera, was set up so they can capture all of that. And we would get the big wheel and the spirograph and all of those, she got the light bright. I got the spirograph,
Right.
Yeah.
It was, it was really,
now,
really.
We're talking Christmas, and what do we got for? Hello, we have
Christmas something major that's happening.
All Prairie Christmases.
So 11 days before Christmas, or actually a little bit, 13 days before Christmas, in Southern California, we are doing a Little House on the Prairie cast reunion at Strathern Park in Simi Valley. Simi Valley, of course, people who follow the program closely know that's where that's where Walnut Grove was built. Now, we are not going to Big Sky Movie Ranch for Christmas. That could be a little dicey getting in there this time of year, but we are doing this at Strathern Park, which is an 1800s farm that was bequeathed to the city of Simi Valley, and they've added traditional 1800 buildings to it. So I think it's going to be a really beautiful place to do a holiday event, and 17 cast members will be there. It's going to be a really fun thing.
And Santa. We have Santa.
And Santa. Yeah, Alison always mentions Santa. Yes, we have Santa will be there, and we hope people come and enjoy the fact that Santa's present.
It's gonna be totally great. We have things. There's like a Friday night party. There's all these panels. There's so much stuff. We have activities. It's not just like plonk us at a table. We have activities and stuff going on.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
It's going to be really epic.
It's going to be amazing. And like you said, it's a 3-day event featuring meet and greets and autograph sessions and holiday photo opportunities and screenings of classic episodes as well.
Right.
Little House homecoming family activities will also include tree trimming and caroling. You said visits with Santa, along with tours of those historic buildings.
Yes.
There's also priority access and gifts and
look at you, Jim. Events. You know everything. That's just awesome.
And a Friday holiday party and a Sunday breakfast with the cast as well.
That's right. And the Friday party is with the cast as well. And Sunday breakfast with the cast. And we're going to be doing some nice honoring of people at these different events. I think it's going to be really, really fun. We have a great time with these events with fans who come, and I think Christmas is such a great time to do it.
It is, absolutely, and it's something very, very special. I think that people are going to want to go there because, like you said, it's an important location where you're going to be, right? That was selected. Yes. Oh, no, it was selected very intentionally because it was in this place that's so important to Little House as an entity. This place, Simi Valley, was just hugely important in the creation of what that little world of Walnut Grove was. All of that happened in Simi Valley. If you want to know more about it, you can check out Little House of the Prairie cast reunions.com and learn more about the event. Jim, you've certainly checked it out. My goodness. Thank you.
There it is. He put it on the screen and everything.
Yes. Thank you so much.
We're returning to the scene of the crime in Simi Valley, as always. And but I want to see it because it's got 8 real 1800s buildings. We have like an actual like Prairie era real village in there. So it's kind of awesome.
Yeah, no, it's going to be really cool.
A couple of people
it will be nice and cool.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
That would be perfect. A couple of people have said also that they have your books and they love your books. For folks watching who aren't aware of the fact that they're not only brilliant actors, but they're also authors of 2 very popular and well-received books. There is Dean's book right there. and that is a really, really well received one. And there is Alison's book as well, and that has been well received. Yeah,
Alison, how many years has it been? You've been, this book has been so successful for so long. It's incredible.
I need to do another book because it's turning into like the Guns N' Roses album thing. It's becoming that. But it was 2010. And then we had the paperback in 2011. And then we had the audio one. And then we had the French version. And, I just keep cranking that out. And so, so it's time. It's time, I think.
You are working on another one
coming out. Will come out in the fall of 26 called Living the Prairie Way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another one you were saying?
Yeah. So Prairie Man was the first one. All of us now, all of us have included Prairie, although Alison, you have your book, your title How I Survived the Prairie.
Right. Yes. Because that very much how I survived being Nellie Oleson and learned to love being here.
Yeah, of course. So all of us, if you check it out, every cast member has done a book. Prairie is in the title,
whether it's Prairie Man or Prairie Bitch. By golly,
right. Exactly. We have Melissa was Prairie Tale. I mean,
Prairie Tale.
We have all included. We've all included Prairie in the title. It's this really important vibe that people connect with wonderfully.
Yeah. How much of this time-wise does it take? Has this become like a second career for you guys because you're so immersed, so involved, in all these incredible events, and you're very responsive? I know, Alison, you're always on it and in it and around it, which is extraordinary. Is it like a second career?
It absolutely is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's all Little House all the time. It really is.
And it's somewhere, just as I said, when we thought it would fade out in the 80s and then it didn't, somewhere it just went, well, this isn't going away and I should just get on the train and just go with this. Yeah. And then it just blew up. And it got bigger and bigger. And then when the pandemic happened and people turned to the Prairie again, and then once we came, we'll probably get a good crowd because people are happy to get out again. And it just turned into epic. And I thought, well, I guess we're doing this. It's been really fun. But this is we're all Prairie all the time now. It's crazy.
Yeah, you really are. And you've gotten together on several occasions as well for reunions and events, which I think is really, really special. This one from 50th as well. Isn't it incredible, huh?
Yeah.
And everybody,
No, see me in our photo op that we did. That was really that was the largest gathering of cast in one place in over 30 years. That was a big gathering of cast.
That is amazing. It's so nice to see everybody together and everybody again embracing the characters and the series. And again, they're going to be celebrating chocolate as well over in Rhode Island.
Can't wait.
And get their books and go on Amazon and everywhere books are sold, of course. The big event in Simi Valley. Look at all of these fine folks. Now, just about all of them are coming here on the show too.
Oh, good.
Teddy Lester's coming. Karen is tomorrow, and Charlotte is next week, and all the rest are going to be here.
Great.
Victor and Tracy, and you're
having Victor and Tracy.
Jim, you will know everything there is to possibly know about Little House after doing all of these interviews with all of these different people. Thank you so much for supporting our little show and how important it's been for so many people. Thank you for that. That's really kind of you.
The pleasure is all mine. You're great people. And again, to tell the audience, once again, I had an opportunity to meet them and chat with them, off air, off and away from the sets and the lights. And they are really, as Dean said, they stress, and Alison says as well, they stress that when you meet them, when you see them, they are what you would hope. So many times when you meet people like we know that work in these industries that we're in, they're not exactly what is portrayed on screen or the buildup that you have in your mind.
Right.
you guys exceed that for the fans, which I think is an absolutely beautiful thing for everybody. So, and again, Little House on the Prairie, there might even be snow.
God, wouldn't that be cool?
That would be nice.
I really doubt it, but it's a wonderful idea.
But if there's
A
a
wonderful
way,
idea.
if there's a way,
Santa's
Alison
there,
will
and
make
there
it
could be
happen.
magic, because
There
there's Santa magic. So you don't know. There could be.
There could be. Guys, you are really, truly the best. Appreciate you coming on. I know you're very busy people. You have a lot going on in your lives, and to stop by the Gym Masters Show series once again, it's always a blessing. It's always great fun. Our viewers have been commenting and celebrating and having a ball in the chat room as well, loving all of this. And they have the books. They want to go to the events. They can't get enough. And it's really a blessing to have you here. And I look forward to seeing you again real soon. We might even try to get out to Rhode Island to see you there with a little.
Oh my God, come and have some chocolate. Yeah, let's have some chocolate together.
Let's have
That
some
would be
chocolate
awesome.
together.
Yeah,
And I really appreciate all the time. Congratulations on everything. Truly, it's a blessing in your lives, and you're really providing something, as you said, that goes really deep for people, and they connect with you in the series on so many different levels, and new generations are discovering it as well, which is another, icing on the cake.
No kidding.
Well. So
Absolutely.
you guys be well, and thanks for the time, the generosity of time, and the laughs. And come see us again. I mentioned last time the porch light would be on for you, and the porch light is always on.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Either the porch light or the genie bottle. Something is always on, right?
Who
All
knows
right.
who will pop out of the genie
Who
bottle?
knows who'll pop out of
Yeah.
the genie bottle? You're a blessing, and I truly appreciate all the time. Be well, everybody. Safe travels everywhere. Knock 'em dead as you have, and come see us again, okay? Merry, happy everything.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Dean and Alison. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye now. Parting is such sweet sorrow, but wow, so cool to have them here on the show, huh? Dean Butler, Alison Arngrim, return visit to the Gym Masters Show. And there is that event. Look at all of these incredible cast members. They're going to be there at Simi Valley in California, where they did filming of the actual series. And there you go. There is how you can get tickets for those who are in that area or who will be heading out to that area. Cast reunion and all, and share some of your memories in our comments section. What are some of your memories of the iconic Little House on the Prairie? I do want to let you know that coming up tomorrow, for those who are watching us live, we're live right now, and they were here live, which is so cool. Karen Grassley, who played Carolyn Ingalls' mom. She was the mom on Little House on the Prairie. Guess what? She's with us tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern and 6 Central and 4 p.m. Pacific for an epic conversation. She's in Italy right now, and she's going to be coming to us direct from Italy. She goes back and forth. She has a place in Italy. And on Monday, Kenny Lester, the iconic actress who was also on Little House on the Prairie, is going to be with us on Monday. That's an afternoon show. That's 3 Eastern as well. And she's going to be with us, and then we'll broadcast that. So cool stuff. But we do thank Alison and Dean joining us here on the show. They've been with us a couple of other times. You can go back in our archives and see the full epic conversations we've had individually with each of them. Alison Arngrim's been with us a number of times. She's a dear friend of our show. Dean Butler's been here a couple of times as well. And again, it was really a blast to meet Dean in person at one of the great events that they were at. I wanted to surprise them. So we went, I surprised them. I waited in line with all the super fans. People are saying, no, you don't have to wait in line. Go to the front, go right up, let them know you're here. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I want to wait in line, and I want to talk to the other, super fans and hear their take on things and where they're from. And we had a blast talking to so many of the real super Little House on the Prairie fans at these events. And really, really a blessing Thank you to everybody for all these great comments coming in as well. And let's see, Kathleen Walker, she even did a nice super sticker in support of the Jim Masters Show Celebrity Talk Show series. Thank you very much, Kathleen, in New York City. We appreciate that. Really kind of you to do that. And I love that nice, sort of like a turquoise color, huh? Appreciate your generosity. And you were so glad that they were here. Once again, Alison and Dean together live exclusively for all of you here on JMS. Thank you, Maureen, for your comments. And Terry Ann, it's so nice to see you here. She's been a longtime viewer, Lovity on our show as well at the Jim Masters Show. And Sherry Larson is watching in Kansas. Good to see Sherry as well. Some of our real super fans. And Maureen in Arizona loved the conversation. Kathleen did as well. You even got a recipe for the cinnamon chicken. You learned how Alison Arngrim makes her mashed potatoes. She's got the Irish in her like we do. You learned about some things about Alison and Dean that you might not have even known about. We didn't just talk about, the usual things everybody talks about when they have conversations with them, the usual Little House on the Prairie tidbits, and they shared some of that as well. But they also talked about their lives, and they talked about things that they're doing and things that they're celebrating, how they decorate their Christmas trees, some of their favorite gifts when they were kids. And don't forget, they have their books too. Dean said there's another book coming out. This is Dean's book, and this is Alison's book. Of course, Alison was Nellie Oleson on Little House on the Prairie, and Dean was Almanzo Wilder, both great characters. There, Dean is with Karen Grassley, who again is going to be with us here on the show as well. So many memories of this epic series. They're also going to be in New York City as well at the Green Room 42, live broadcast and merchandise, all part of celebrating the 50th anniversary of Little House on the Prairie. Yeah. And also, did you know it's Alison's, this is a cool picture, this is Alison's 32nd wedding anniversary. Happy anniversary to Alison Arngrim and her husband. 32 years they have been married. Happy anniversary to Alison Arngrim. And her husband. Really, really nice. Wanted to share that with her and with you as well. So, all right. What a great show, huh? Stepping back in memory lane here and sharing it with all of you. For all of the Little House on the Prairie fans or fans of classic television or entertainment or just joining us here on the Jim Masters Show, we really appreciate it. Check them out for all those great events that are coming up. The big event, Simi Valley, and also the Chocolate Expo and the event in New York and coast to coast. And again, all coming together to celebrate 50 years of Little House on the Prairie. Again, check out the past episodes here on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. We thank them. They are terrific, terrific people, wonderful friends of our show. And it's just a blast to have them here. And it's also a blast to have you here as well. We appreciate all your time. We thank you for all the time as well. And come see us again. Don't forget to give this episode a thumbs up like and drop a comment below in the comments section if you enjoyed this episode and what are some of your favorite memories of Alison or Nellie and of Dean or Almanzo. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. And be sure and click the notification bell so you never miss any of the episodes that we have and all these amazing guests that come through Lovity Hall. And however they get through here, maybe they come through in a car like that, like Dean did, or you just tune in. We are here for you. All right, gang. Thanks for all these great comments that came in live. Terry Ann, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. It's very, very kind of you. Very, very generous. And she did also a super chat. Very, very kind. Terry Ann, beautiful. That's so nice. I really appreciate your generosity, all of you who support our show. And she says, thank you so much, Jim. I'm such an awesome host. Thank you. How can I print that out? Is there a way I can print? Can we print that? I want to keep that. Thank you very much. Love it. God bless you and your family. You as well, Terry Ann. And again, thank you for your generosity during our live show for Terry Ann doing that wonderful, it's nice sort of a yellow fall color, right? And again, Kathleen in New York for her support of our celebrity talk show series. Really appreciate that. And that means the world to us as well. And Kathy Jean, thank you for joining us here. Great show tonight. And yes, yeah, very much a fan. And I love this and a fun time. And you've been commenting and enjoying it. And Maureen as well. And good stuff, gang. Love seeing all this. Love the feedback. Love knowing you're enjoying what we're doing here at JMS. And come see us again. All right. Celebrating Little House on the Prairie with Alison Arngrim and Dean Butler here live exclusively. Wow. Great fun, right? Nothing was scripted. There was no pre-planned questions, no teleprompters, none of that jazz. It was just a good conversation amongst three people who care and like to put smiles on your faces. And hopefully we did that for you on this episode of The Jim Master Show. Come see us again, everybody. Spread the word. Don't keep it a secret. Let everybody know we're here. And take a moment and go back in the archives and see some of your favorite episodes, or maybe shows that you missed that you didn't even know we did with some amazing celebrity guests and friends and others who've stopped by our series. All of them there are for you. Reminder, Karen Grassley joining us on the next episode of The Jim Masters Show. Coming up next, stay tuned for Karen Grassley, who played Ma on the series, wife to Michael Landon, of course. And she is with us coming up next here on the Jim Masters Show. So don't go anywhere. That is going to be here for you. All right. We always say, since this is sort of an inspiring episode, as in Little House on the Prairie, such an inspiring series, don't forget to take care of one another, and don't forget to love one another, and don't forget to do the very same for yourself. Try to say that all the time. And when I, remember to say it. And yeah, good stuff, gang. I don't know. I got hungry hearing about the cinnamon chicken that Alison was talking about, and hungry listening to her mashed potatoes recipe. And she's working on a cookbook. Yeah, I knew when I asked her that she would say yes. I knew she had that up her sleeve. She's always working on something cool, right? She's like Lou Grant said to Mary Tyler Moore or Mary Richards on the show, she's got spunk. And Dean's a great guy too. All right, gang. We'll see you soon, right? Thanks for being with us here on the Jim Masters Show. We love you all, and we love having you here. And thanks for all of your time. And we'll keep the porch light on for you and you and you and you. Come see us again. More great episodes. Karen Grassley from Little House on the Prairie coming up next. Enjoy. Be well, everybody. Cheers.